好。 Hi everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the IFSCPA Bangladesh webinar on finance for non-finance professionals. Myself, Ali Akbar Chowdhury, Regional Director, Institute of Financial Accountants, UK, working here in Bangladesh, and the Academic Director of CPA Bangladesh. I would like to welcome you all to our today's webinar. We are just waiting for the attendees to join. We must start right now. May I welcome our today's speaker, Mahiuddin Ahmed, who will give the presentation on the finance for non-finance professionals. It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Mahiuddin, who is a qualified accountant with about 20 years experience in finance, accounting, and auditing. He has led the treasury team of Incepta Pharmaceuticals Limited since 2015. Mahiuddin has expertise in financial planning, management reporting, business analytics, finance business partnering, finance digital transformation, auditing, and financial policy formulation. He previously worked for organizations like Berger Paints Bangladesh Limited, Singer Bangladesh Limited, A. Kashim and Kong, Aknabin PwC here in Bangladesh. He is an IFA associate member, a member of the IPA Australia, a fellow member of the CPA Bangladesh, and an associate member of the Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of India. He completed his master's in accounting from the University of Dhaka and participated in high-end executive training programs at home and abroad. He conducts training programs on contemporary topics. Mahiuddin, welcome to our today's webinar as the presenter. We will be enriched about finance business partnering from you. Let's start your presentation here. The attendees can raise their question on the question answer tab, and we will at the end of the session we will have the question answer. So let's start. Mahiuddin, over you.
Am I audible?
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you, Ali Akbar bhai, and welcome to all for today's presentation on finance for non-finance professionals. I would like to start my presentation, and I hope both finance professionals and non-finance professionals participating today will be benefited from these presentations. And firstly, I will share the presentation content with you. I have segregated 6 parts of presentation. These are overview and role of finance, financial acumen for non-finance professionals, management information and business plan, financial policy, regulations and governance. Then contemporary finance and finance business partnering, and finally personal financial planning. I will also share a case study to understand better about finance and finance business partnering as well. First, I will discuss finance. What is finance? Finance is language of business. It's a very broad area, and finance is also important for in our personal life also. Firstly, finance include fund management, source of fund, disbursement of fund, loan, and investment. Then another important part of finance is financial reporting. It mainly includes corporate reporting, accounts preparation, annual reports, analyze financial information. Also, bookkeeping or record keeping is an important part of financial reporting. Then finance business partnering. Finance business partner uh, do strategic planning, support for business decision making, and management reporting. Treasury and financial operation is an important segment of finance. They work on banking, fund receipt, payments, accounts payable, accounts receivable, tax, VAT, budgetary control. Those are in regular nature of job and very much important. Then internal control and risk management. It includes mainly business process change, business process optimization, then financial and non-financial risk management, compliance, information security. These are the main segment of finance and as well as accounting that we do regularly, or some job we are in finance department continue and half yearly, quarterly, monthly, and so on. Then auditing, or actually auditing is done by external people, that is other than finance team. We can say that internal auditor working within the organization, they provide independent assurance that an organization risk management, governance, and internal control process are operating effectively. Usually we call them internal auditor. And another auditors are, we usually call external auditor or statutory auditor. They give professional and independent opinion on financial statements. You will see that in annual report of any organization or business entity, auditors certify the accounts. Okay, they are statutory or external auditor. We will now see a standard finance organogram. Finance team is led by Chief Financial Officer, and these are the broad segment of finance. I have already discussed, that is, if we segregate in this way, then we will see one segment led by business controller or management accountant or finance business partner or FP&A head. And another segment is financial controller or led by head of accounts. And then head of treasury or finance manager and business process, risks and compliance and information security. Now I will move to my second part, that is financial acumen for non-finance professional. Acumen is ability to make good judgments and take quick decisions. So in any business decision or financial decision, someone who will give any opinion, they should know about the facts and figure and then come to a conclusion. Here, business acumen is dealing with any business situation in a way that is likely to lead a good outcome. And then we will move to financial acumen. Financial acumen is ability to evaluate the impact of a business decision on the business financial statement and financial well-being in the long term. If we see one example, that is, say for example, we have plant and machineries in any manufacturing organization. Those contributes or involve a huge amount of fund. Then machineries need regular maintenance. If there is some negligences in maintenance, then what will happen? Then there may be a sudden breakdown or any other problem. So this cost will be very much higher. Then person who has financial acumen as with his other uh, skills, he or she will always think about this uh, cost savings, that he will play such a way so that he can maintain his plan in a cost effective manner, and he can uh, ensure regular and smooth day-to-day operation. Then he will continue his maintenance activities regularly. This will ultimately ensure smooth operation as well as cost savings. Now we'll see how we can develop this acumen. First, someone, if he plan to develop his acumen, then he need to discuss with his senior colleague, or he can find a mentor. Then uh, uh, he has to follow some company's financial result, business news, and he should be confident about his decision making. And uh, another important thing is, organization should include this business or financial acumen as its core competencies. Then it will be easier to develop employees business or financial acumen. And then individual should apply his personal skill to get the best result. Now I will discuss how to create financial acumen throughout a company. There are several ways that it may vary organization to organization. And I am highlighting some common steps. These are: initiate training session for all department head or managers. It will help. Then assign departmental head or manager the task of speaking with employees with their department about financial acumen. That is to discuss in a meeting where financial matter and financial tools and decision making, and then encourage them to use simpler language, not very much technical words and other things. Then assess current investment and profit figure against the current budget. This is very much important. Organization has its own budgets, usually budgets prepared annually, and then finance department analyze the actual expenditure and prepare variance analysis for decision making of functionals. Budget meeting and discussion is important and contribute to develop financial acumen. Then evaluate financial reporting structure. That is we see that sometimes various departments use various type of formats, etc., and this create difficulties to understand the common picture, and there are usually some inconsistency due to different type of formats. So these formats and standards should be aligned to make decision easily. And finally, be session for frequently asked questions, example for real world scenario. Finance team can arrange this type of session, and they can share with non-finance managers or professionals, so that jointly they can contribute for the company. Now we will see the major financial tools and techniques that are widely used in finance regularly. I have segregated this in three parts. First one is financial tools. These are mainly softwares like accounting software, budgetary control software, payroll and tax software, billing software, VAT means value-added tax, and financial technologies. Then finance department use various management accounting tools. These are mainly analysis and reporting tools. I think you all knows about ratio analysis. This is very much popular to make financial decisions, particularly on financial statements. Okay. Then there are comparative statements that we usually do to make decision about any investment or not. Then forecasting, latest estimate, financial feasibility, as you all know about NPV, internal rate of return, and weighted average cost of capital. These are widely used in financial feasibility. Financial feasibility needed when we go for any long-term investment. In case of short-term investment, we can also do financial feasibility. And ROI is very much important. Even in case of any training to employees, we can assess the feasibility through ROI. And there are some other tools also I have mentioned here. And there we also use cost accounting and controlling tools. I am highlighting just important items, that is break-even point. You know that break-even point is very much important to set any target. Okay, the point either we are there is profit is zero, loss is zero. Okay, the if we cross the break-even, then profit will start. Then decision making and strategic management accounting tools. These are mainly operation research, linear programming, networking, etc. And finally, financial statement tools. These are comparative financial statement. Usually, finance department prepare comparison of financial facts and figure in monthly, quarterly, and yearly. So if you see or we see any financial statement in any public limited company, we will find that there is comparison of 2 years. Okay. And then common size statement ratio and trend analysis, and working capital changes statement. Cash flows is very much important for decision making about companies' further investment, cash planning, and fund requirement. Now I will move on to my next part, that is management information and business plan. Management information, or we can say it management information system, MIS, or reporting. This is very much important for decision making as well as controlling purpose. And in any organization, we see some MIS is circulated regularly. These are analyzed by finance and business unit departments, and they then analyze variances and come to a concrete decision about cost controlling and further investment and so on. The measured reports are variance in case of variance analysis, like sales volume variance, rate variance, purchase rate variance, etc. Then budget versus actual report. These are mainly useful for expense analysis, like day-to-day expenditure, marketing expenditure, administrative expenditure, sales and distribution expenditure, and so on. This expense analysis we usually prepare based on product or business segment or business unit or company level. It is based on the company size and how many business units are there in any particular company, and it is actually need basis. Then product profitability analysis, this is important for further investment in any particular product or any service. And then ROI of various business initiative. ROI means return of investment. This ROI we do for capital investment, marketing expenditure, research and development, and training purpose. Then feasibility analysis, as I told earlier, this is very much important for any investment in capital machineries and short-term, other short-term investment. Usually for long-term investment, we do feasibility analysis. It covers technical part, social and environmental part, and financial part. Then one thing is very much important, how to communicate this financial information to non-finance professional as well as other finance professionals. That is one in finance department, management accounting segment or management accounting or cost accountant prepare this type of report, and they circulate the report to non-finance users, and then they arrange departmental meeting to analyze the variance and to control cost or optimize cost and future decision making. In case of communication, the important elements are this communication should be in future facts and figure. As the even those who are past, we can take the experience from past. We will consider figure, make decision for future investment. Then technical language and data details, it should be avoided in this financial information communication level. And very much technical data may lead some misconception or other. And then effective use of chart and graphs. It is very much easy to present financial information by a finance professional in chart or in graphs, so that non-finance professional can easily understand those. And this should be concise and focus on key numbers. Okay, and then there should be a takeaway or output. Why one finance professional or executive prepared this report? There should be any particular objective. That is, after analyzing this report, we will introduce this new product to a new market. So should be this way. Now we'll see that there are stakeholders in any organizations. I have pointed out 10 types of stakeholders, and based on stakeholders, information needs are different. I was talking about information management information. So when any finance professional prepare management information report for decision making and controlling purpose, they should focus on information need of various stakeholders. I have I hope you will get this slide, and then I would like to request you all to review the slide, and you will understand better. Just I read out one item, that is say finance provider, serial number 8, they are an important stakeholders of any organization. Uh, um, Department of Finance and Treasury deal with finance provider. Their expectation is covenants. Or what is covenant? Covenant is when any organization take any loan from banks, then bank gives or some conditions which should be maintained and which should not. These are covenant. So finance providers need some information on covenants like debt service coverage ratio and other leverage ratios. So if you see this chart, then you will understand better about information need of various stakeholders. We'll move on to my next slide. These are business plan. A business plan reflects a company's planning process for a given time horizon. This includes background history, prospects, and financial statement. Usually, when we want to see our organization in a long-term view, like for the next 5 years or 10 years, then we prepare a business plan. This business plan includes some if we to write a business plan, we have to set out the direction of the organization, strategies chosen, the background to the decisions made, and their practical implication and outcome. For large corporates, this plan may be for 10 years or 3 to 5 years or even 12 months short-term plan. In case of SME companies, they usually prepare this business plan for bank or venture capitalists. While preparing business plan, appropriate weightage must be given to marketing, sales, and growth forecast, competitor analysis, risk analysis, and cost control. These are important elements of any business plan. Now I will move on to financial policy regulations and governance. Firstly, the financial statements is very much widely used financial information when we see any organization's website. We will find financial statements if they are listed in stock exchanges. These financial statements are prepared based on international financial reporting standard, international accounting standards, generally accepted accounting principles. And auditing are done based on international standard of auditing. Companies, when prepare, as you know, that we use financial manual or accounting manual or standard operating procedure or SOP for, but these manual or SOPs are also prepared in line with accounting standards and considering business practices. For regulation part, while preparing financial statements, we consider tax rules of the territory, value-added tax rules, customs rules, and also consider environmental and social regulations. In case of governance part, there are set corporate governance guideline, and we also consider accountability, transparency while preparing financial statements. Then my next part is contemporary finance and finance business partnering. Now we see that there are a huge change and transformation in finance discipline. During last 2 years, we found that a lot of digital transformation has been introduced by the organizations, and fintech is an important among them. This fintech means financial technologies. It helps companies, business owners, consumers to manage their financial operation, process, and lives by utilizing specialized software and algorithm that are used on computers and increasingly smartphones. These fintech companies use artificial intelligence, big data, robotic process automation, and blockchain technologies. In finance department, now you will see that there are automation in day-to-day financial operation like banking, cost and management accounting, accounts payable, like billing system, all are going to be automated rapidly. So and also in banking and financial industries, they are automating their day-to-day operations to make our life easy. There are some examples of financial technologies. These are mainly digital lending and credit, mobile banking, mobile payments, cryptocurrency and blockchain, insurance, trading, banking, and global as a service bus and global finance solution. These details of fintech is available in various sites and articles. I would request you to check this. It will help. Then I will move to contemporary finance. An important element of contemporary finance is a sustainable finance. Sustainable finance is the process of taking due account of environment, social, and governance considerations when making investment decisions in any financial sector, lending to increase longer-term investment into sustainable economic activities and projects. Now, I will discuss one of the important segment of finance, that is finance business partnering. This part is very much important for non-finance professionals because in these areas, non-finance professionals are widely connected to finance professional for their day-to-day activities as well as decision-making purposes. When non-finance professionals, like say for example, any managers from sales department or marketing department need any financial support like preparation of financial feasibilities or analyzing some marketing data to make a decision on further investment, then they discuss, they feel that to whom I will discuss, he or they will discuss. The person is finance business partner. And these activities are usually done by accountants. They work with various departments and they use financial and managerial accounting tools and techniques to provide insightful information for effective decision making. And this finance business partner understand business acumen, business model, technologies, and also non-financial information, because to give appropriate support to other functionals like production manager or head of HR, they need to understand business model, technologies, financial, their information need. Otherwise, they can, this partner or they cannot provide any effective solution. They apply competencies and challenge and advice to add value to the business for growth and sustainability. This is very much important. We see that when any sales manager want to uh, invest in any markets to develop a market segment, they need fund. Then they discuss with finance business partner to analyze the fact and figure, and sometimes finance business partner challenge them why you are going to uh, invest there. We see that in considering past data or market study, there are some uh, uh, the challenges to failure in this particular market. So this way, finance business partner contribute to functional department. They suggest them. They want to present the share the risks part of investment, also opportunities part. And finance business partner, they report to finance and may have dotted line to the business, because in some organization they are under the umbrella of finance department. In some cases uh, uh, they sit with functional departments. Say in marketing department, we see that marketing finance or supply chain finance team, they are particularly partnering with finance and supply chain, or finance with marketing. This is very much important role in any organization for its success and sustainability. So now we'll see the why finance business partnering is important. They bridge between the finance function, management, and other areas of the business. They deliver insightful information for effective and real-time decision making. They challenge and influence decision making. They play a vital role to initiate feasible projects, and they protect potential loss from risky projects. Now I will move on to personal financial planning, and then we will discuss a case study. Personal financial planning, as we understand, is a systematic approach whereby an individual maximize the existing financial resources through proper management of his or her finance to best achieve his or her financial goals and objectives. These involve budgeting, insurance, banking, investment, mortgage, retirement plan, tax, and real estate plan. We see there are some steps for effective financial planning. Actually, financial planning is very much important in case of personal financial planning. That is, when we want to invest something personally, then we need to be very much cautious and calculative. And to do this, we need to follow some steps. And also, financial advisor can help us for personal financial planning. These steps are identifying financial situation, that is where I am, my capacity, my capabilities. Then determine financial goals, that is what I want to do, where I want to invest, then identifying alternatives for investment. Is there any alternative that will give more return with minimum risks? Then evaluate alternative. Now I have 4 to 5 alternatives or 2 to 3 alternatives available, considering my financial situation. And also liquidity is very much important for this consideration. Say one wants to invest for 3 to 5 years, but another person may need his fund uh, instantly. So he should invest more liquidable instrument. Then put together a financial plan and import and implement. Then write out the plan. So before implementation, we need to consider this fact so that our investment should be worthy, cost effective, and risk free. Now I will, this is the last part of my presentation. Sorry. This is a business case. We will discuss on this case if we have enough time in details. Firstly, I will read out the case and the main outcome is we will try to connect non-finance functional managers role with finance people, and we'll try to see what was happening in this case. Is there any loophole to make decision for decision making process and so on. I have segregated it in two parts. Part one is upgradation of product features and price adjustment. Mr. Asif, marketing manager of BS Chemical Limited, a publicly traded company, which manages one of the major paint brand of the company, HD Color, that contributes 18% of total revenue. That is a HD Color, a paint brand, its contribution is 18%. In February 19, the dates are important here. Mr. Asif planned to upgrade product features and packaging to establish HD Color a premium and sustainable brand in the paint market. He also considered environment-friendly features while upgrading. He talked with research and development and supply chain department and estimated BDT 15 crore in Bangladeshi taka for such modification, including procurement of machineries and technology, consultation services, advertising, and promotion. High-grade raw materials were needed for such upgradation, and he estimates of 6%. He, along with head of marketing, Mr. Asif is marketing manager. He now, with his marketing head, shared the plan with chief executive officer of the company and was able to convince him for such changes, including required investment and price increase. They want to increase price of 6% and they need BDT 15 crore of fund. As some other competitors were in a position to introduce these environmental friendly features before Boishak festival. Boishak is start in Bangla New Year. Mr. Asif and his team wanted to make the product ready to distribute by the end of March. That is before Boishak festival. They wanted to distribute the product so that they can gain a sales from before this festival. Meantime, Chief Executive Officer shared the marketing plan with CFO and advised him to extend all necessary cooperation to marketing team. All functional members gave maximum effort, and finally the product was launched on 21st April 2019, second week of Boishak. That is usually 14th or 15th April is Boishak starts, but they launched the product after 1 week of that is in the second week they launched the product. So it was delayed by almost 20 days. So we will try to remember this scenario. It will help us. Now part 2. Part 2, before going to part 2, just I read out the key feature of part 1. That is their price increase plan was 6%. And their investment was almost BDT 15 crore. That is more than 1 million pound. And their key dates was to introduce the product by March, but they launched it after 20 days of their initial planning. And another very much important fact was when they shared with Chief Financial Officer through CEO, or CEO shared with CFO in a later stage. Okay, after they decided to launch the product, fund requirement, price increase, all the thing, finally they shared the fact with CFO lately. And part 2, in case of part 2, now I will read this at first. Profitability impact and corrective measures. Mr. Jaman, financial reporting manager of the company, was preparing year-end financial statements as of 30th June 2019. That is, we were in April. Now it is 30th June. Mr. Jaman was preparing financial reporting, and he observed slight decrease in profitability as well as earning per share compared to last year. After reviewing the financials, CFO asked cost accountant to submit a product profitability report. As financial manager identified the sharp fall in EPS and shared with CFO, then CFO called cost accountant and suggest him to submit a product profitability report. Analyzing available data, cost accountant found that profitability of major brand HD Color dropped significantly both at contribution margin level and PBIT level. PBIT is profit before income tax, interest and tax. This loss was incurred due to inadequate price increase, revenue loss, and additional fixed cost. This was his findings. He presented the analysis to CFO. Later, CFO submitted annual financial statement with necessary notes and explanations to Chief Executive Officer, having a small percentage of EPS drop. That is, this year their EPS was negative. First week of August 2019, cost accountant arranged a meeting with marketing manager, Mr. Asif, where he was confident to grow at the rate of 8% month on month till April 2022. That is up to next year, April. He assured that they will grow at the rate of 8% and 40% afterwards annually for the next 2 years. This was their expectation to grow. After observing profitability status of HD Color, he suggested cost accountant to calculate requirement of further price increase to maintain budgeted profitability level. That is, the company has a budgetary structure and they had a set profitability target, and based on that, they are now preparing the price increase requirement. Earlier, they considered a price increase of 6% in a thumb rule basis. Based on available information, cost accountant estimated required price increase and submitted to marketing manager through CFO. Here we see that after occurring the product launching in the market lately, and then when financial manager was analyzing his financial statements, he found profitability shortfall, then discussed with CFO. CFO suggested cost accountant to see the facts, and he found that there is a profit fall due to an investment of HD Color brand. And then after 2-3 months, they sit with marketing manager to take some measures, where marketing manager issued them to grow at a certain percentage and suggested them to recommend an appropriate price increase percentage. So we see that there is some there are some gaps between decision making process, and we will analyze this now. These are now we will evaluate a planning and decision making process of BS Chemicals. What we see there was lack of insightfulness and business acumen, and then competitor analysis may not done while they were planning to launch a product. Weakness in business planning, as they didn't engage finance team in rightly or when needed. Absence of partnering with finance. Then consequences in the business result. The major consequences was profitability impacted. As we see, there is a fall of earning per share. Risks of achieving targets. These targets were both financial target as well as operational target, because they didn't introduce the product before Boishak festival. Then probability of loss of market share and business reputation. Their conflict also may be raised. Share price may go down, as EPS was fallen sharply. Share price may go down. What should have been done to maintain desired profitability? Here, they can make decision based on feasibility analysis, considering financial and non-financial impact. That is NPV. They should analyze NPV, payback, and also some non-financial impact like technical issues and so on. Ensure real-time information and insights from finance business partner. They should discuss with finance business partner while they were planning they were planning to introduce this modification, assess investment risks and take mitigation plan, and engage finance business partner and CFO from the beginning. This was very much important. They missed it out. So this was my presentation, and also I have discussed a case study, and now I invite you for question and answer. Also, I would like to hand over to Mr. Ali Akbar Bhai for sharing and concluding.
Thank you, Mohidin Bhai, for your excellent presentation on finance for non-finance professionals. I appreciate
you,
your
Anand.
time to deliver a very useful topics to the attendees. We have a question answer tab at the bottom of the Zoom application. If there are any question, you may ask using that tab. Okay, we have a question from Syed Akbar Imam, uh, who said that who is asking question from Islamabad, Pakistan, and he appreciate the presentation. And yes, we will try to send a copy of the presentation using our IFA email, and hopefully we will get the presentation. If you didn't find that through email, I can share it. You are feel free to communicate with me. Another question was Rizwan Masood. The similar question, and Akbar Imam was mentioned an email to get the presentation. Yes, your email address noted during registration. You will get the presentation. Hopefully, our technical team will support this. Is there any topic related questions? We are at the end of the webinar, and waiting for any question. If you have. Okay, one question. What is the latest biggest issue between non-finance and finance? I think Mohidin Bhai may uh,
Thank
discuss on
you.
this.
It's a good question. Now, I think finance business partnering is the biggest issue. Okay, if finance and non-finance work collaboratively, then company can achieve its goal easily. So collaboration is very much important. Collaboration between finance and non-finance, and to communicate financial issues, upgradation, tools, techniques with non-finance, so that they can well aware of financial tools, technique, and they can discuss with finance people when they take big decisions. So this collaboration is very much important. If finance are isolated and operational work separately, isolatedly, then decision making will not be fruitful, effective, or cost effective. So I think collaboration is very much important.
Thank you, Mohidin Bhai. Actually, we have another recorded webinar. Maybe you can find that session in the IFA YouTube channel, and that is on the topic of finance business partnering, also hosted by Mohidin Ahmed. It will be helpful if you can go through the that webinar also. Another is okay. I think the question was the what is the biggest issue between non-finance and finance people? Okay, how we could improve this collaboration. Modin Bhai, we have one question on three questions.
Okay,
If you
okay.
connect.
But that I was telling that we need to align with finance people, or finance non-finance people should align with finance people, and vice versa. Okay, to take decision making in any product initiation, modification, or investment, non-finance people start working on it at first. Okay, and at that point of time, they should feel that finance people can give me a good support regarding information analysis, analytics. If they feel, then they will contact with finance people and uh, and give some input, and then start their plan. Okay, this way they can we can improve collaboration. At first, they need to feel that I was telling in my presentation, that some training session doing how finance people can help non-finance people.
Thank you, Mohidin Bhai. Actually, this webinar is hosted by the Institute of Financial Accountant UK and the CPA Bangladesh. Both of the organizations are working with the finance people and for the finance people, but this is a way to collaborate with the people, those who are working in finance and non-finance position. We can share ideas through webinars and also with the networking. This may improve the collaboration of the finance and non-finance people. For those who are not related to the Institute of Financial Accountant UK and CPA Bangladesh, I would like to give a short description of the Institute of Financial Accountant UK and the CPA Bangladesh. Institute of Financial Accountant UK was established in 1916. It is an internationally recognized professional accountancy membership body. We are a full member of the International Federation of Accountants, IFAC, the global accounting standard setter regulator. The IFA is a part of the Institute of Public Accountant, IPA group, the world's largest SME-focused accountancy group with more than 49,000 members and students in approximately 100 countries. Our members work within micro and small to medium-sized enterprises. We are focused on SME and SMPs. You can find more details about IFA using the website of ifa.org.uk, and the CPA Bangladesh is working here in Bangladesh with the support of Institute of Financial Accountant UK. The CPA Bangladesh of Certified Public Accountants and Tax Advisors Bangladesh aims to develop internationally accredited accounting and tax professionals in Bangladesh. The CPA Bangladesh is an academic institutional member of the International Association of Accounting, Education and Research. CPA Bangladesh is a recognized center of ATHE, a global awarding organization regulated by Ofwal UK government. Certified Public Accountant and Tax Advisors Bangladesh is an endorsed training provider of the IFA UK. We are providing some public accounting and taxation courses. CPA Bangladesh is also a course provider of advanced diploma in international taxation of the Chartered Institute of Taxation UK. We are working together here in Bangladesh. This is third webinar we have hosted jointly with the members of CPA Bangladesh and the Institute of Financial Accountants UK, and with some other guest participants. So thank you. Here we can find
We have
another question from
questions.
Abhijit. Can you explain again personal financial planning shortly? Mohidin
Okay.
bhai, over
Okay,
to you.
thank you, Abhijit Shah. That is, say you want this is personal financial planning. That is financial planning for your personal purpose. Say you want to invest something, you have some residual fund, and you want to buy. You may buy something, you can invest something. So first you have to check your ability, how much you have in your account, your residual income and your savings. Then what you want to do, you either you go for long term savings or short term savings. You may require immediate fund, then you have to go for liquid for the instruments that you can liquidate easily or shortly. Say investment in and shares in capital market. Or if you want to go for a long-term planning, then you can invest in bonds or fixed assets. Okay, so before investing, you have to think about this, and then you can also take advice from professionals, those who are giving suggestion for personal investment. Okay.
Thank you, Mohidin bhai. We are waiting for any further questions from the participants. Those who are a member of Institute of Financial Accountants UK joined this CPD webinar. I believe our membership team will automatically update your CPD records with your membership account. If you didn't find the updated CPD hours in your account, you are free to communicate with me or to communicate with our membership team to update this. So we are at the end of our today's webinar. Thank you all who have joined today's webinar from Bangladesh and from the outside country. We found some of our members joined from various countries like India, Pakistan, United Kingdom, and some other countries. So I would like to thank you again for your time, and also I would like to thank Mr. Mohidin Ahmed for your excellent presentation, which is also appreciated by the attendees of the today's webinar. Thank you all for
Thank you,
joining
Akbarul.
today's webinar, and good afternoon, and assalamu alaikum to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Before we end, can I just remind all the attendees, I myself from the IFA would be sharing the slides as well as the recording within from 24 to 48 hours after today's webinar, and also the recording would be available on our website. On behalf of Jonathan and the IFA Institute, thank you very much for joining us, and have a lovely weekend ahead to everyone. If you have any further questions, I work in the events team at the IFA. My name is Eva. Just drop me an email, and I will be able to reply back to you. Have a lovely afternoon, everyone.
Thank you, Eva. Thank you for your backend support. It was excellent for our today's webinar. I would like to thank you and your team also for hosting this webinar, and also at the end, Mohiddin Bhai, thanks a lot for your
Thank you,
time.
Akbarul. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Eva.
Bye.
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 Кофе